Good morning, Joe. Hey, what's up?
What's up, guys?
Hey, what is up? Sunday podcast. What's up, Joe? What you over
What's
there
going
promoting,
on?
Joe? I see
Promote,
you.
no. Oh yeah, King of Hearts. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like out here. We King of Hearts, all hearts. You know what I'm saying?
Kings and
Daughters' hearts. We just gonna talk about the king right now.
Zip it.
But nah, everything's all good. What's going on with you, MelBee? How was your weekend? Or how was your week?
My weekend was great. I went hiking yesterday.
I seen.
Yes, Bear Mountain. If anybody's familiar with the New York area, Bear Mountain has a beautiful hiking trail, 1,200 feet. It took us about an hour and 50 minutes. It was beautiful. It was worth every step, every breath, every drip of sweat. It was just the bomb.com. I did over 12,000 steps, burned 986 calories.
Nice.
And yes, and after the hike, we went and had massages, body scrubs, so it was all worth it. So, I mean, I just had like a really good weekend. Today, I just relaxed. I'm going to take my bubble bath later, and yes. How about you, Mel? How was your weekend?
I went shopping yesterday with my daughter, with my little one.
Aw, your little tampon.
Yes, my shadow. She just, we just was shopping all day yesterday, and I'm tired because y'all know I usually don't do much on the weekend. So it was a lot of excitement for me.
That was an overload.
Yes.
My weekend was pretty dope. You know, I had fun, got a chance to get out, you know what I'm saying, whatever, and relax at the same time. Really can't complain. Like I'm loving the cooler weather that's coming through. Man, when I stepped out this morning, it was loving it. Cool. I'm tired of the 90s. You know what I'm saying? Ready to just throw on my Timbs, and I throw those on anyway, but pull out my winter gear and get busy. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's all about.
Yes. I'm for the weather too, Joe. I love the boots, the sweaters, the little scarves. This is definitely my time. Definitely. So I feel you on that.
The hoodies, the bubble jackets, you know what I'm saying? All that good stuff show up here. The scarves, all that. Right, all right. So today is going to be a interesting topic, and that's your topic now.
Yes, let's get into
That's how the lions be sounding.
I know we about to start lying when we start stuttering and stuff. No, but today's topic, I'm sorry guys, I'm still trying to share. And if you're watching, share, like the video and share on the page so people can see us and get into the topic because it's gonna be juicy today, okay?
Absolutely.
Into it.
I'm sorry. While she's sharing, if anybody is interested about my beautiful glass that was made by my friend Jada, you can follow her at Jada's Place on Instagram, Facebook. She makes custom glasses, wreaths, all types of nice, cute home stuff, holiday baskets. So it's Jada, Jadas, Jada's Place, Facebook, Instagram.
Nice. That's what's up. That's a dope glass, right? Like that.
Yes, it's very pretty.
Like that. I like it.
Brand ZB. That's me.
What's up? So what's up, Mel?
Can I see the glass?
Oh, I'm sorry. It's a little more. It is pretty. So you tell her what you want, and she will make it. She even put the little glitter at the bottom. I don't want to spill my drink, but the little glitter at the bottom. It's pretty.
Got you little pimp glass.
Yes.
Pimp glass.
That's very cute.
It is. Yes.
Okay, so today's topic is going to be on deal breakers. Infidelity. Is infidelity a deal breaker? So I threw the topic out, but I'm gonna ask y'all. I'm gonna ask a question first, which is I'm gonna ask because I feel like everybody's definition of infidelity is different, you know, which is it's very important to know your partner's definition, by the way. But Joe, what's your definition of infidelity?
Infidelity for me is would be something on a physical or emotional level, where you're emotionally not available, or you're physically sharing yourself with someone else. And you know, yeah, pretty much for me that would be infidelity.
What about you, B?
I feel like infidelity, to piggyback off of Joe, to share your emotional side, your body, even intimate time. I feel like that's a form of infidelity. If you're spending a lot of time with the opposite sex, someone that you're actually interested in, sharing secrets, emotional feelings, especially, of course, the physical, I feel like that's a form of infidelity. How about you, Mel?
I want to piggyback off you real quick. Yeah, also too, on the fact that when you also share your emotions that you have with that person intimately, and they share it with their friends and family members, as to make you look like you're weak or something like that, or you know, or just to pretend that you wasn't even a factor. You know what I'm saying? They can just pretty much belittle you. But yeah, what's up, man?
Wait, you said what now? If somebody, we're gonna need to rewind that one back. You said if somebody tries to belittle you in front of people, that's being
no, not in front of you. No, what they talking about you? They talking about the situation. Like, let's say, for example, they was like, "Oh, well, yeah, you know, yeah, he was just all extra emotional and all this other stuff," and they talking about it to another person. You know what I'm saying? And it's a betrayal. You know what I'm saying? Because when you try to be intimate with someone as far as your emotions with someone, and then they share it with somebody else, and then try to make you to belittle you, I think that's also infidelity to me as well.
Okay. Like if it's the opposite sex, or if can they be? It doesn't matter.
Just because because it's supposed to be intimate between you two. So if you let's say, you know, if you crying, or if you you know, have a moment of weakness and you just tell them about something that's just intimate with only you two would know, and then they tell friends and family members and they get back to you, and that's an infidelity as well, because it's supposed to be intimate between you two.
Okay.
This is like physical, you know what I'm saying? It's just, I would say it's more of an emotional way.
Interesting. Well, just to piggyback off of both of you guys, like I feel like infidelity is definitely something that includes intimacy with another person, whether it's another person outside of your relationship, whether it's emotional, physical, or even spiritual at this point, because sometimes, you know, we feel like we connect on a spiritual level to another person, and if we entertain that, it can lead to other things. So I'll say those three are top three for me. Right. So B, what do you think? You think like would you say that's a deal breaker for you? Like if somebody, based on your definition, like if somebody does those things with someone else, is that a reason for you to like end the relationship?
Relationship as far as dating, yeah. Marriage is a different ball game. So I would say if I'm dating someone and they, you know, did something that I felt like, you know, they betrayed me in that type of way, yes, it's a deal breaker. Because once I lose trust in you, that's the end of the relationship. I don't feel like we can kind of work past that, especially if we're not like married. There's no commitment. So I play around, you know, cut your losses before it gets too late.
So let me ask you this real quick. So what about is that your standard guideline all across the board, or is it dependent upon the connection you got with the person, because every connection is going to be different. You know what I'm saying? So you might tolerate more for one person than you would for another.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's a gray area, because if you really like someone and there's a lot of potential, then they're willing to. This is a hard question, because Joe is absolutely right. If you really feeling someone and that connection is there, the chemistry is there, but they could do something that you feel betrayed your trust, then I don't know. I'm like, it depends. It really depends. We have to talk a little bit more. Let me fill this out a little bit more.
I got you.
Yeah.
Got you.
How about you?
Well, for me, it's going to definitely depend upon the person, and it's because everybody is different. You know what I'm saying? I can't really even set a regular standard for. This is my standard, and everybody falls under that category, because that wouldn't make sense to me, because everybody's different. You have different types of feelings for different people and things of that nature. So I don't think necessarily for me it's a deal breaker. It's depending upon where we're at, in our connection. You know what I'm saying? Because I've seen plenty of people that have gone through infidelity and have made a great comeback from it. You know what I'm saying? And just like with people, a lot of people, I know a lot of people just learn differently and do things differently. So I don't think it should be really a standard. It just depends on I think it would really depend on what kind of how you find out about the infidelity. I think that's the real biggest thing.
Thank you. Sorry, Joe. We're getting compliments.
Yeah, I see. I get it all. But yeah, it just depends on how you find. I think two things. It depends on where your connection is at, and how you find out about the infidelity. Those are the key things that.
Hold that thought. I wish we could pin like little thoughts. How you find out about it.
I'm gonna keep it. Mel?
I don't know. I feel like why y'all always laugh when I start?
You don't understand how sarcastic you come across. Like, I don't know.
I don't deal with shit. Right. I don't even deal with the shit, so I don't even know what to tell you. So, yeah. I'll be in the house.
I be in Herman mode. Let me see what Jada said. At this point, especially as grown ass people, cheating is a deal breaker.
Yes,
I agree. But what I was gonna say was, I feel like I think B said this a little earlier. I was paying attention, but I was also sharing, so don't think I wasn't listening to y'all. I was listening. When you're in a relationship and you're not married, like I feel like once you cheat, like bye. Goodbye. Like there's especially at this age when if you're marriage minded and you're dating with the goal to get married and you already breaking rules and codes and showing who you are, like you're not going to change because now we're bonded by a piece of paper. I mean, I don't want to say a piece of paper because marriage is a sanctity and sanctuary, and I don't know the right words because I'm not married, but it's a serious thing, okay? And that's something that is like your relationship is kind of like a preview. When you're in the dating stage engaged, that's kind of like a preview of what's to come. And things are not going to get easier when you get married. Like things are going to get harder. Like you might have financial problems. You might get depressed or whatever reason. And you might look to like, if you don't have willpower, like you might look to someone outside of your wife or your husband to fulfill that thing in you, right? So you have to have willpower for one. Two, if you're doing that before we even commit, like under the eyes of God and the law, then it's a wrap. I feel like it's really no hope for the marriage. But I also feel like people be forgiving people too soon in the relationship stage. Like, you've been with somebody for 2 months and they cheating already. Like, what is there to forgive?
It's true.
Like, I'm not talking about a marriage. Like, when you get into a marriage with, even if it's like 2 years in, 5 years in, whatever, like, you know, you might have to work on, you're going to have to work on that because you committed to this person till death do us part. And, you know, by any means necessary, we're going to stay committed in this union. But if I just met you and we dating and you're not even showing me that you could keep a promise, something simple as only being with me, then why do I need to even forgive you or give you a chance, like, to break my heart again?
True. I agree. I definitely agree with
so
that.
So what would you say to the people that, like, I hear this a lot too, a lot of women be like, well, I don't want to start all over again. I hear that a lot. And anything, you know, because you know how the date scene is now, it's crazy out here. But, and then I hear them, so, you know, and they'll tell me about something about like, hey, you know, I'm having this situation, like he been cheating, he been doing this and that. And I'm like, okay, so why don't you just go ahead and remove yourself from the situation? And they be like, well, I don't want to start all over again. So they rather deal with it. Do you think that's helpful? Okay.
I'll answer that. I mean, it's better to start all over than to continue a relationship that's a lie. I mean, I feel like starting over is easier than getting over a broken heart and, you know, being hurt. So I'd rather start all over, honestly, especially at this age. You know.
Keep starting over.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think that's how a lot of women get themselves into situationships where they're, you know, worried about what they're going to lose and what the other woman is going to gain when they start looking at how much time they put in and feeling like they losing out. You know, there is no losing out if it's not a marriage. Like, there's no reason to continue.
Well, all right. So let me put it. I'm gonna twist it around. All right. So, there's a lot of people out there that's happily unmarried. What would you say to them in that situation? They've been together several years and they just happy with how it is and not taking on that title of being husband and wife. Would you just tell them to throw away that whole investment, even though they're not technically married?
What investment? I'm sorry.
I mean, because all right.
I'm not.
I know you're not. I swear, you watch the playbacks for this.
I'm sorry, I missed that part.
I guarantee you, in a year or so, Mel's gonna be a meme. But go ahead.
I swear I'm not being sarcastic, but I missed the part. So you said, because I want to answer. We got comments, people in the comments asking us questions too.
Some good questions.
So I wanted to find out, Joe, like, I really want you to reiterate what you meant. Like you said, if you was in a long-term relationship, what?
Yeah, like this, you know, the term happily unmarried. There's a lot of people out there that's not married together several years. And when it comes to, because you pretty much said if you're married, that's different because it's a different investment. But what about for those people that's an investment for them, but they choosing not to take on that title? Because some people feel like that. They're like, well, we don't need the title of being married. We're here, we're living together, we're taking care of each other, and then should they throw that away because it's not a marriage?
Mm-hmm. I guess because I'm shaking my head.
Yeah. Like I said, I don't see an investment there. Like, that's a situation that people, when they start living together and they start accumulating bills, that's how you start tying yourself in with this person's life. You know, you start putting things in your name because their credit is messed up. Now they got a car in your name and you can't break up with them because they didn't pay off the car, and when they don't pay the bill, it go on your credit. You know, so I feel like people be I don't know. I feel like people are treating relationships like marriages, and then they are women. I can only speak for women. Women are treating these men like their husband and giving themselves false commitments that he never even gave. Like, can I get a promise ring? Can I get some type? If we don't want, if you against marriage, like at least buy me something, that's gonna make me feel like you invested in me. Like, put me on your life insurance, something. Put me, I don't know. But let's get to I'm gonna get to these questions from our viewers because I like how people are answering questions and asking questions, and I want us to answer. So, Joe, let's get to Jada first.
Okay.
Jada asks, I'm sorry. Yes, we're gonna get to Jada first, and then we're gonna go to Mel because he got like 18 questions there. So, Joe, what do you think about Jada's question?
Do guys identify what counts as cheating? Yeah, like I said, pretty much we look at the physical and we look at the emotional parts. Like, we can tell when you're not emotionally there. We can tell when you're not physically there because we're gonna tie you down and smell your pussy. So you know what I'm saying? That ain't doing that. But yeah, we gonna tell the difference based on based upon those things. You know what I'm saying? If you're not touching us the same, it's the same thing with dudes. If usually can tell the difference when the consistency is not there. You know what I'm saying? And just like with anybody, you really can't share your energy and put your all into more than one person. I mean, there's some people out there that can do that. Don't get me wrong, but somebody's gonna notice something different unless you are aware of that. You know what I'm saying? Those, that's what we do.
Well, before we get to the next question, we're gonna have to pay some bills, y'all.
Pay the bills. That's what.
And I'm actually prepared today, so let's start.
Oh, she's so fancy.
Edmund Gary of Follow Me will dispute the negative items being reported, request verification of the debt, and ask for a cease and desist required by law. Edmund Gary of Follow Me will monitor and watch your credit, addressing issues as they arrive to get you back on track for a good FICO score. Call Edmund Gary today at 404-437-2028 for a personal consultation on credit repair. The best cards for rebuilding your credit, second chance bank accounts, and how to buy a home. Edmund Gary, owner of Follow Me, says bad credit is not forever, and I can fix it. Follow me. Follow me. Edmund Gary.
Yes. So, next question, next caller.
I gotta charge my computer.
All right, so Mel wants to know how is one to know they are being unfaithful? As a woman, we know, okay? We got that intuition, okay? We already know y'all start acting funny, y'all start moving funny, y'all start, I ain't gonna give away all of how we know, but we know, okay? Joe, have you ever been cheated on?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Did you know, like?
I found out through roundabout means, you know what I'm saying, just catching it, out and about, you know what I'm saying, and kind of like that Orange Juice Jones situation, seeing him walking here in the street, walking in the rain, you know what I'm saying, all that good stuff. But nah, like, it's always emotional, and then with me, I'm very particular and I'm very observant. So when I see, I pay attention to people, and I pay attention to the consistency that you do. And
you got the GPS on her phone.
I pay attention.
I ain't doing all that.
Go ahead, Joe.
I ain't doing all that, but it's always going to reveal itself one way or another because, like I said, it's all about consistency and what you're talking about and how you moving. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Orange Juice Jones, no doubt. But that's pretty much what it comes down to. But I mean, or you might accidentally run. Like I'll tell you one situation with this girl I was dating. She was newly out of a marriage, but she insisted that.
I'm laughing at B, how B listening for the story. She all the way back, like,
I'm waiting. See, I got my ear ready, bro.
I was talking to this girl that was married. Well, she wasn't married. She was getting out of a marriage. And she was just, she moved to this state or whatever. And she wanted a relationship with me. And then I was like, I think you kind of need a little more time because you're especially getting out of this situation. And she was like, nah, I'm good. She kept pressing about getting a relationship. So finally we got into the relationship. And then, like, I want to say maybe a month into it, she came, I was at her house, and she happened to come to the crib, and she started talking on the phone, like somebody, I was just sitting there doing my thing. I wasn't paying it no mind, but I could just hear the conversation. And it sounded like she was unfamiliar with the person she was talking to, because she was like, oh, yeah, I like doing this, I like doing that. I was like, yo, who you talking to? And she was like, oh, just a friend. And I was like, a friend from where? Because you don't sound like you know them. And then she was like, oh, yeah, it was this dude at the supermarket. He just gave me his number. I was like, oh, you taking numbers and shit? I was like, that's how you doing it? So I was like, and then she was just like, well, ain't nothing like that. I just, then she come to find out she just started liking a lot of attention from different guys because she was with this one guy, whatever, her husband. And I was like, this is what I was telling you that you shouldn't be doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't be getting into nothing serious if you still got you need attention from different dudes. You know what I'm saying?
So were
That's how I went down. That's how I found out.
Y'all was in a monogamous relationship?
Yeah. We was that's what she wanted. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, cool. So I let that slide, and then I was like, all right, well, let's not let that happen again. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is not what you do in a situation like this. And then the next thing that happened is I went to work. I used to work late at night. Like, I used to do like security, so I worked overnight. So come to find out, I found out she ended up going out on a date with a dude because I wasn't available to go out on a date because I went to work that night. Because I work at night. And I'm like, I go to work at 11 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying? Like, I got to pay my bills. I have my own apartment. You got your own spot. I got to take care of it. Her concern was like, well, you're always gone at night. Like, I'm working. I was like, I have paid off.
Because I thought only men cheat. Especially black men.
That is blasphemous to think that only men cheat.
Especially black men. I thought only black men cheat.
That's a myth.
And she was just, like I said, so I was just like, after that, I was like, oh, it's a wrap. I was like, you should have just stuck to what you was doing instead of even wasting the time like that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what it came down to. And then on the other end, she tried to flip it on me like, oh, you was listening too hard. Like, you was sitting right in the room with me while you.
I told you Joe was talking. Oh my God. I mean,
that's that.
You dodged a bullet, Joe. So kudos to you. But I do want to address Mel Sama. He said the 90-day rule. He feels like the 90-day rule is shorter as we get older. And that is not necessarily true. It depends on what type of person you're dealing with. Because I think some men do have the 90-day rule too. And I feel like, especially in the Black community, sex is like so, oh my God, if you have sex, you're a hoe or you're not a good woman. And I feel like that 90-day rule, it really depends on the type of person you're dealing with. And Black men do cheat. I see that down there. Everybody cheats, whoever, Black, white, Indian, Spanish, Chinese, it doesn't matter. If you aren't ready to be committed, then you're going to cheat. But back to that 90-day rule. I don't feel like that 90-day rule really means anything because a guy can wait 90 days, a girl can wait 90 days, and the whole time Joe just explained they can still be dating somebody else, the whole time, the whole 90 days until you're ready to give it up. That's nothing. That means nothing to me. It doesn't. You can have, I know people that have sex the first night got nasty. I'm talking about nasty the first night and they married 10 years plus right now with beautiful children, and their relationship is stronger than a rock. And I know some people that waited the 90 days and they're still single. So it really depends on the person.
Well, I want to say that as far as like infidelity being a deal breaker in a relationship, I think that's why it's important for you to keep people out of business, because a lot of the times we're kind of swayed. Our decisions are swayed by who we talk to, you know, and a lot of people are like worried about how other people are going to look at them if they stay. Like, am I going to look stupid? And I'm talking about like in a serious relationship where, because you got everybody trying to be relationship goals or whatever, like posting a relationship on Facebook or Instagram. And if they have a lot of family members, like everybody's like, oh, y'all look so cute together. Or if they're married, it's like they had a big wedding and they've been together all this time, and everybody thinks, because, you know, not a lot of people married nowadays, everybody's like, oh, like the marriage is perfect. But then when you start telling people your business and you start like opening yourself up to commentary of other people, that's when it's harder to work through things with your spouse or your partner, because now it's like, in addition to you having trust issues with them, you're worried about how you're going to be perceived by other people, you know. And I feel like in the Black community, like we don't really talk about what happens after you get married, like, and infidelity. Like, I feel like those people that's been married for like 60 years, 50 years, they need to have podcasts and they need to be telling us the real things that happen in marriages, because it is a deal breaker for a lot of people. And maybe it shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? Like, maybe if everything else is going right in the relationship, as far as like you have a family and your co-parenting skills are good, neither one of y'all is abusive, like y'all might have a business together or own a home together. There's a lot of things at stake. And in addition to trying to have like a positive influence for your kids, right? Are you willing to end that because somebody stepped outside of the marriage? But I also want to say, like, it's levels to infidelity too. Like, it don't be just, oh, this person had a one night stand. Like, sometimes people be like in whole other relationships,
a whole nother family,
like a whole nother family, a whole nother relationship. And that's when like Joe mentioned earlier, like betrayal. Because I feel like it's easier to forgive somebody who, like, okay, they were drunk and they had a one night stand, but let's be honest, it takes a long time for men to get coochie. Like, we feel like, like when we really like a guy, we think everybody want them, right? But that, for the most part, like, they be having to prime a chick. They be having to like text her and call her and, hey, how you doing all of that lead up to the sex, unless it's like a one night situation. And people have feelings. Like, we can't just sit here and act like only women catch feelings. Men catch feelings too, especially like if they going through stuff with their wife. She always nagging him, girlfriend, whatever. She always nagging him. They got kids together. They got bills together. Like, this other person might be a breath of fresh air and escape away from like what he's used to at home. Which I think.
I can't talk on like how easy it is for a man to get coochie, because I'm not a man. But I mean, from a lot of groups that I'm in, from a lot of stuff that women post, I feel like they are sexually free, and if they want it, they go out and get it nowadays. Especially with that whole $40 thing. I know there's a lot of women out there that's willing to give it up because they just want to scratch that itch that needs to be scratched. So it might be a little easier, Joe, to like having one night stand or just to hook up with a girl for Plenty of Fish or one of those websites.
I mean,
that laugh. What's that laugh about?
they I don't know. I think they update prices for the pandemic, so now it's like 80 and more.
Look, hold on. Nah, let me stop.
You know, the gas went up.
But I mean, you know, as far as like, you know, sex for men is I would say, you know, to be honest with you, it probably is easier for us because there's tons of women, because you'll get one that may not want to do it, but you have somebody else always in the week that will do it for less than nothing. You know what I'm saying? Not to say that.
I feel like you're speaking as a bachelor. Like a married man is not like a married man is so-called committed to his wife for years and has been out of the dating game for a while. All of their friends are married for the most part. They might not find it as easy.
It might be even easier.
I mean,
they're gonna pay for it.
Yeah, yeah, that too. But then on top of that, you gotta look at it from the other angle. Some women find that as a challenge. They want to sleep with that man that's unattainable. That says I'm unattainable because I wear this ring on my finger. So they want to challenge that theory, and a lot of women out there will do that. You tell them you're in a relationship or you married, that's a challenge on. I'm about to see if you really faithful to your wife. I'm gonna throw all kinds of stuff at you. So there's plenty of women out there like that. But like I said, just like dudes that out here being single. When we single, we can't catch nothing. Like even you might catch something here and there, but it's like an anti-pussy vibe that we be putting out. Like we just can't. As soon as we get in a relationship, as soon as we marry, boy, it's left and right. Hey, what's up? Oh, you look handsome. How you doing? I'm good. I'm in a relationship. Oh, right. I ain't asked you about your relationship though. So how you doing? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's kind of crazy. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't know.
out.
I saw a meme that was like, them single guys, they don't be shooting no shots, but the married ones and the committed ones, they be emptying the clip. They be like, they be like all in everybody inbox, like, hey, I'm married, but not like a lot.
No, she's married. I ain't married to her.
In her mind, we married, but I'm not.
I'm sorry, Joe.
No. I was just saying. In her mind, she thinks we're married, but we're not. So we just happen to live in the same house.
And I feel like some of those married. Right.
But,
I feel like some of those.
It's yeah.
No, it's a little. Go ahead, Joe. You first.
Somebody go.
No, you got it.
No, I just feel like. I feel like those married men that do empty clip. I feel like they're probably been married for a long time, or just like Mel said, like they got that wife or that girlfriend that was like, "Come on, baby, I want to get married, please." And they finally did it to shut her up. So now they just in it because it's like, you know, cheaper to keep a type of situation. Like I can't talk for a married man, but that's like kind of my view on it. Because the married men that I know that do step out of their relationship, it was because it was cheaper to keep her. They had multiple kids with the woman, or it was like, all right, I was with her for 15 years, I might as well put a ring on it, type situation. But
you think they be marrying people that they've been with for like in a regular relationship for 15 years? You think they get married?
Yeah, definitely. After a while, like Joe said, it's slim pickings out here. You've been with this woman for all these years. It's like, all right, we might as well do it. Especially if the woman is nagging. You know, this is my philosophy. For all the women out there, I'm not an expert, but the next, relationship, I feel like a man should love the woman 10 times more than she loves him. That's my philosophy. You agree? Yeah, I really do. A man should be like head over heels, chasing you down, like willing to give you the world before you settle down.
I agree.
I can see that, but
I agree because I feel like, that is his incentive to not want to cheat. Like, I feel like people throw it out there all the time about it's innate and, men's sex drive is like higher than women, and sometimes they can't control themselves and they can't control their urges, and that's why God made them, not to get pregnant because they supposed to sow their wild oats around the whole planet or whatever. But I want to say that, like, as far as like people, huh? What you say, Joe? You froze up.
Okay. No, okay. I ain't say nothing.
What I was gonna say was like, I feel like people that are like vetting people to get married, like if for me personally, I've been single for a while, and I'm on my journey, but what I'm learning on this single journey is that I want to watch, like, if I'm interested in someone or dating someone and things to get serious, I want to watch how they value their commitments that they make to themselves, like, because a lot of the times we make commitments to ourselves, like, I'm gonna stop drinking, I'm gonna lose weight, I'm not gonna eat bread, or I'm gonna run a mile or 5 miles a day or whatever, and break those promises. So I feel like the more you're committed to yourself and your own goals, like, that's the indicator for me how much you're going to value a commitment to someone else or to me, because it's easier said than done. Like, people say, oh yeah, I can never cheat, like I can never do X, Y, and Z, but cheat themselves all the time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, break promises they make to themselves. Don't even listen to goals that they set for themselves. So how you gonna, like, keep a promise to somebody for 30 years and you can't even keep a promise to yourself, or keep it real with yourself?
Right. I definitely agree with that one.
Mm-hmm. And then you gotta, it's a slippery slope, because on one hand you want guys, you believe that guys should put their all into somebody and be 10 times more into the woman than the woman should be into him. But like I said, we talked about this plenty of times before. Some of the women just think that that's too much. You know what I'm saying? Oh, the inconsistent, the morning text, the hey, let's make plans and things like that. Some of them don't know how to receive that because they're so used to the trash that they've been dating. You know what I'm saying? And so when they get somebody that does those things, they just they're afraid. They think you're manipulating them, even though there's a dude clearly lying something as clear as day. When you come with great intentions, they think you're the manipulator because you're too good to be true, or you're too, you're not following the norm of what I'm used to. You know what I'm saying? So for guys, it's going to cause guys to be more on the defense and slowly trickle little things here and there and kind of fill you out, and then try to eat off your energy of what you put out. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't really see a lot of guys just going all out. No, you know what I'm saying? And then the first thing a woman's gonna say, "Oh, you crazy." You know what I'm saying? "Oh, you telling me about too much stuff it's too soon, too early." You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's not really about so much from jump. It's like consistent. How consistent is he? Like, anybody could be the best person, the first couple of weeks, and then it like tapers off because that's not who he is. But when you're dating, you're looking for consistency. You're looking for who that person is after the mask falls off and you're no longer talking to their representative. You're also looking at how much this guy is, into you, or is this just something that he does until he gets what he wants?
How he treats his friends, family, past relationship issues. I feel like those are all good indicators as well. So,
and I think, and I know a lot of people be like, well, when you when you talk about, like, for me, myself personally, when I meet women, or when I was meeting women, I would ask them about their past relationships, and a lot of people are like, yo, you shouldn't be doing that. I'm like, nah, it's key to know
Don't say
about.
a lot of people. Just say Mel and B.
No, not at all. Not at all. I'm talking about, like, it's people that believe you shouldn't ask about past situations, but you should, because you get an indicator of what kind of dudes or women, men or women, that they're used to, and then you also get that indicator, especially in this day and time where people are extra sensitive. If they have somebody that's still stalking them, that might end up catching y'all out in the street somewhere and just take y'all out, because she never explained to you, like, hey, I got this situation going on, but I want to, you should be informed about what's going on with a person that you're dating and you're out and about with, and that's about it. And then you also get an idea what kind of women that you deal with. I'm gonna put another story out. And a woman that she used to tell me she used to get her ass beat a lot, and so with me, I'm not gonna put hands on you. So I'm not gonna do nothing more than that. And so I think at some point she, if there was a situation like we had disagreement and I got angry, at the most I'll get louder. You know what I'm saying? My voice would just get louder. I'm not gonna put hands on you. You know what I'm saying? So I think at some point she felt like, if you ain't putting hands on me, you don't care about me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, yo, I just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can assert myself and get my point across without beating your ass. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it's so many different, like, factors.
I think that kind of ties in with last week's podcast about the whole mental health situation. But I also feel like and I feel like I want B to talk too, because she's been kind of quiet today.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like
I'm learning to listen.
I feel like it's important when you're in the dating stage before you get like to monogamy, that it's important for you to find out what cheating, like the definition of cheating is to someone, and what their definition of, even infidelity and how they view love and all of that, because you got to make sure y'all on the same page. Like, I might look at, okay, you text me an ex or staying in communication with somebody that you was in a relationship with before, you have history, and y'all don't have no kids together, but y'all was like in a long-term relationship. And I find out that you're still in communication with this person, like, for no reason. Like, I might look at that as being, unfaithful.
Yeah.
Because I feel like you still entertaining this person, like, as a backup, and I'm just a placeholder.
Right.
Meanwhile, he might not look at that. He might look at it like, oh, I never sever ties with people. Like, I always try to keep communication open or whatever. And that's not gonna fly with me, because I'm the type of person, like, once the relationship is over, it's done. Like, there's nothing for us to talk about. We have kids together, like, okay, hey, the kids need this, or you say hi, or it's supposed to be about the kids. All of that, what you doing, and laying up on the phone for a couple of hours talking about each other's lives, like,
that's cheating.
That's cheating. That's not. There's no reason for me to be in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? But a man that I'm dating might not be his. Feel like, wait, what? Because Mel, I gotta go to the comments, because Mel always talking junk about me. Like, yeah, when I talk, I'm gonna be mushing him like, you lying.
You don't hear what I'm saying? Tapping on his head.
Yeah, so I feel like definitions are important. When you get to know a person, you want to make sure that y'all on the same page, y'all have the same thinking process, the same ideologies about relationships, and y'all value the same things. Because if you don't value the same things, that's gonna be a problem later when it comes to an issue. They're gonna be like, "Oh, you bugging," or "You over exaggerating." When meanwhile, this is like in your core, like the core of who you are and your belief. And it's kind of hard to change those things. So what do you think, B, about everything?
I think that it's a very gray area. It depends, especially like the courting stage, the engagement stage, and then you have the marriage. So like I feel like a marriage, of course, you're gonna work hard. Your husband or your wife steps outside of the marriage, they cheat. I don't feel like that should be the end. I feel like there's counseling, there's healing that can be done. There's there's a bunch of things that can probably get you guys back on track. The engagement stage, once again, like you're already making that commitment and you already cheated before we even signed the paper. I feel like it's a wrap. The courting, the dating, the engagement, all of that means nothing. But once you get married, I feel like that's it. That's your ride or die. You got to give it a shot. You step outside the relationship, I feel like you should work at it. Like, once you're married. But if you can't do it, and you got kids, other families, and I mean, I don't want to offend anybody, but that whole like bisexual thing, like I know a lot of men out there might like, the opposite same sex. Like I'm not dealing with none of that shit. I don't care if I'm married or not. If you cheat on me with a man, it's over. If you cheat on me with multiple women and I find out that you're like a serial cheater and have like children and I can't go with certain things. Everybody's human. Everybody has urges. After being with somebody, I can't even imagine being with somebody for 50 years. Somebody mentioned like those 50-year marriages don't even exist anymore. Like imagine being with somebody for 50 years. You think that you're not gonna like? I don't know. Like I really don't know. I can't say that you're gonna be 100% faithful after 50 years. Shit gets dry. Everything gets dry. Ain't even lose in the world.
Mm-hmm.
I'm laughing. I'm never gonna post that. It's not true. But do you see what Mr.
Yeah. But, I just want to ask you, how do y'all feel about like strip clubs? Do you feel like that's cheating? Like if your husband or let's talk about husbands because dating is like whatever. We grow up. Do you feel like your husband, if he wants to go to a strip club once a month, do you feel like that's a form of cheating?
No. I feel like strip clubs are entertainment. I feel like it's a form of entertainment. I mean, I used to go to a strip club with my ex. Now I'm an anarchist. I thought I was a narcissist. I'm just everything bad to Mel. Okay.
So, all right, wait. It's a two-part question. If he goes to the strip club every month, whatever, every payday, every other week, and there's like a stripper there that he's like going, and that's like his thing. Like he goes to see whatever, Keisha. Like every 2 weeks he's in that strip club because that's his stripper. Like that's who he likes to see. Do you feel like that's a form of cheating?
Yeah, because it's like that's different. That's like an emotional connection now that he has with this one particular person. Like if I be like, oh, you going to the strip club? I'm gonna come with you. Like we should go together. And it's like, no, you can't go. And he getting mad and like causing a fake argument. Now it's the issue. Like, what's the problem? Like, why I can't go with you? Yeah, so I think it's like we said before, it's levels. When you're cheating with somebody emotionally, and you having like an emotional connection with a person, it don't even have to be a strip club. It could be a restaurant. He could go to a restaurant and have a favorite waitress that he's tipping, and talking about his life, or a bartender, talking about his problems or whatever. That's an emotional connection that he's making with this person. So now, if he ever crosses that, he already crossed the line by opening his heart and his mind. to someone outside of his relationship. But if he decides to take it to the next level and make it a physical thing, that emotional thing already exists. So now it's a relationship. So what's gonna stop him now from being able to separate? Like, okay, I'm a married person or I'm in a committed relationship, but now I also have a relationship with another person. Like, that's where the betrayal comes in. And it's like, I feel like that with women, that's the hardest thing to deal with.
Marlon, I agree with you, Marlon.
Which thing? Which one? Which one you agree with? The strip club?
He said, hell yeah, strip clubs is cheating and shouldn't be wasting money on other women. I feel like it's a form of cheating. Not if you go once in a blue moon, you want to go out there with homeboys watching some girl shake her ass. But if it's like a ritual, like every other week, once a month, I'm in the strip club, it's like, really?
But I also feel like sometimes couples go together. Like,
that's different.
Yeah. But it depends on your values. It depends on, like, because you can't be with somebody that looks at strippers as like beneath, low class, whatever, and they have issues with strippers because they're not going to want to go with you. For one, they're not going to want to be in that environment. Two, if you go, that's going to be like, oh, the betrayal. Like, how could you? You know what I'm saying? So that's why it's important to figure out what people's values are, if you can rock with them or not, if it's going to work.
So let me ask you a question. What about in a situation where you dude is going to the bar, like not even like same situation once a week, and it might be regulars there on a regular, and they all drink, and eventually when you sitting at the bar, you're gonna engage with talking with people, and even if they're regulars, like how would you feel about that?
With him like socializing, I feel like that's the same thing as him going to the club. How was he acting? Like, I mean, I feel like when you marry, like that doesn't mean like your life is over. Like you can't go out and hang out. Like, I should be able to trust you enough to know that you're gonna behave and carry yourself as a married person and not be, dancing and grinding and getting an erection on somebody's butt, and then whispering in their ear. Like, I feel like you can go out and have a good time without acting like you single.
Right. Yeah, because I definitely going to agree with Mel. I would stop going to strip clubs because I never got the concept of why I'm going to throw all my money away and not do nothing at the end of the day, at the end of the night. Like, I'm just throwing money at you just so I can see your ass shake and I can
party.
You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I never got that.
I agree.
So, it's crazy, man.
I really don't feel like there's a place for a married man. It's going to open up Pandora's box. Like I said, once in the blue moon, you have your husband, his friend is going out, he's a bachelor, blah, blah, blah. You want to be his. I mean, yeah, what are you really going there for? At the end of the day, even if your friend is a bachelor, you're not going to be his own man. What are you going there for? Believe me, a husband is not going to want his wife up in Chippendales.
Why not?
Because he's not. With dick swinging in your face. I'm talking about like if it's like a every month thing, once in the blue moon, yes. But
yeah,
like,
I mean, if she's going out. Listen, I want to make it because I don't want nobody trying to tell me what I can and cannot do as married woman.
I said the blue moon is fine, but like you said, like I go to the bar on, like you said, okay, my husband goes to the bar every 2 weeks. Just say payday, he's at the bar and he's social. He talks to the bartender. If you're doing that for a while, that leads to something. After a while, you're gonna have some type of emotional connection, and it might lead to something else. Especially
that's if he's going by himself, though, right? Like if he's going after work and
he's going
chats and doing. But if he's hanging out with coworkers or if he's hanging out with his friends, like what? I don't feel like, and it's a whole group of guys, and they are also in relationships and married. Like, why wouldn't he be able to do that?
He can, but I feel like, none of us is married, so I can't say like what the rules are in a marriage. But I just feel like certain temptation. Let me not get all weird. Like you put yourself in.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Certain, it becomes like entrapment. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a ex fiend, and you putting crack right in front of their face, like you waving it in their face. Eventually, they might relapse. So men are wired differently. I feel like women, we can hold it a little bit better, but men are wired differently. You know what? The work wife. Like, I do not want no woman bringing no damn food to my husband at work for lunch. That is a no-no. No, you're not doing that. You're not feeding my husband. You're crazy. Like, not at all. You can call me jealous, call me crazy. I just feel like there's certain lines that you should not cross, and that is one of them. I don't know how you feel about that, but no. How you feel about the wife having a work husband, Joe?
Having a work husband? Oh, I ain't with this at all. But I mean, because it would be the same way around. Like because that's definitely an intimate environment. Like when I used to do security, and I used to have female coworkers. We're there 8 hours for that whole day at night, not doing nothing but talk. You know what I'm saying? So like we just telling each other, exchanging life stories and stuff. And over that time, that stuff just starts to develop. So, you know what I'm saying? And I can see how easily that can happen because if you're really looking at it, you almost spending just as much time at home with your spouse as you are spending time with the person of the opposite sex at work. And especially when y'all get a connection, y'all get cool, and you just want to have someone to talk to. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think it's unavoidable. You just gotta pretty much have trust in your spouse or your mate that they're gonna do the right thing in those situations. You can't, but you talk about you talk about so and so brought me lunch today and all that, or we going out to lunch time. We ain't having that.
I was gonna say, I feel like that's when the problem come in at. Don't be talking to your female coworkers at work because you need somebody to talk to. Talk to me.
Yeah, right.
If you feel like you can't talk to me, go to therapy, get a therapist, and talk to your therapist. Don't be confiding in your female coworkers because that's when the emotional attachment gets involved. Y'all see each other every day. Y'all around each other every day. Y'all kikiing and laughing. Next thing you know, you talking about me. Oh, let me tell you what she did now. Like,
let me tell you how she doesn't dick with teeth. Mel is still on the whole situation. A stripper coming to the crib. Look. What? I guess I don't know. It's to each his own. I'm not gonna tell y'all what I think. Like behind closed doors. Bring it. Where's my prayer club? You're bringing that evilness into your doors. You don't want that.
Listen, we're not talking about open marriages. We're talking about like regular marriages and regular relationships where people value monogamy. Because that's a whole nother podcast and a whole nother topic where, there are sometimes people in relationships with people that are polyamorous, but they're a monogamous person or a mono. They call it a mono-poly relationship.
Joe, that's your preach, Joe.
No, Joe reformed now. He like, I ain't about that life no more.
That's too much work right there.
I think that's why it's important to feel like to know like what type of love and the things that your partner is into. Because if they into that poly stuff and you not, like you not going to change them,
right?
They always gonna be into that,
That's what's
She can
up.
dance. I could just dance too. Get me a pole. I could put a wig on, change my whole style. I'll be main for the night. I don't know. But this is definitely a really good topic. I love everybody's views, the comments, and the insight, because when you think about relationships, and you go back to your old relationships, you kind of think like, what did I do wrong? Where can I improve myself? Like maybe I was overly jealous, or was looking at things as cheating when it was just me, or like Mel said, letting everybody know your business. So you have the outside people telling you, girl, leave him, or girl, stay, or whatever it is. And honestly, you just got to go with your heart. If you want to deal with somebody that's cheating on you, or you feel like it's going to work, do you. Like, that's on you. If you ain't married, I'm not dealing with bullshit. That's just my take on it, my philosophy.
And I also want to say that I feel like women, we tend to like personalize it when a man cheats on us. We feel like, oh, it's something wrong with me, or we tend to compare ourselves to the other woman, and it's never. I mean, sometimes you could be like nagging him or whatever, but it's all on him. Like when a man makes that decision to cheat, it's not because there's something wrong with you. It's a character flaw. And when I say we need to separate it between relationships and marriage, because when you're in a relationship and you're not happy, like just dead it. Just end the relationships that we taking a break. I need to figure some stuff out, whatever. If there's no commitment, there's no reason to be doing all the and all of that. Like, just end the relationship if that's not who you want, and you feel like you might want to be somewhere else. But when you're in a marriage and everything else, the good weighs out the bad. Fight for your marriage. Like fight for it. Go to counseling. Do whatever you want to do, and keep family and people out of your relationship.
Joe.
Yeah, for the most part, I think it's always gonna come down to where y'all at, and where your connection is at with that person. I don't feel like cheating is a deal breaker, because cheating can still go both ways, even though society mostly puts it on men to more likely cheat. And you know what I'm saying? I think for the most part, you just got to have great communication, because when you get to a point where you're cheating, somebody's not communicating, or somebody's not listening. You know what I'm saying? Because you got to allow people to have the opportunity to fix whatever problems come up. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it comes down to. You got to communicate. You can always overemphasize that every week. If you don't communicate, hey, you're not making me come this week, or you haven't made me come in a month, you need to communicate that and not just keep it to yourself. And or if we're not going out on enough dates, or we're not doing this, or we're not doing that. Those are things that need to be communicated to prevent it getting to those next levels, or let's try something different. You know what I'm saying? So communication is key, and I'll save a lot of people a lot of trouble.
I agree. Be fun, communicate, and love one another. Very good topic.
Mm-hmm.
Always have good topics. We always have a good time at MelBee and a cup of Joe. Like, comment, share. Let everybody know we here every Sunday, 6 o'clock, sometimes 6:15, because we be on CP time. But yes. We appreciate all the love and all the support. And we'll be back next Sunday with another topic.
Yes. See y'all soon.
Yes. Thank you.
Take it easy.